In the penultimate race of Season 4, the championship is on the line between Sean Conklin and Daniel Mosteller. Mosteller missed our last race at Pocono Raceway and as a result finds himself with a major deficit in points. And as it stands with qualifying still timing slowly but surely down, 1 minute and 44 seconds remain with Sean Conklin at the top of the timing chart. Welcome for the first time, of course, this season to the Martinsville Speedway as we are set to get going with the Paperclip 150 within the next 2 minutes. The 14th and penultimate race of the campaign takes us to the virtual Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia, as we are set to get things rolling for a 75-mile feature at the half-mile circuit. Great to have you all once again live on FTN. I'll be your host for all of tonight's action. Commentating and producing, I'm David Kreutz. And if you enjoy all tonight's action, be sure to leave a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. Your support is always greatly appreciated. Now, 10 drivers have taken the time to this point. Michael Cormetis and Marcus Vanderlee have chosen not to with Velocity Online Racing in the chat room. We've got some new drivers making their way into the field. A lot of veterans as well. And as we mentioned, the top 3 in the standings. Well, River Page is going to be qualifying 5th, but in the top 3, the championship battle, 2 of which will start inside the top 3 in this event. With qualifying just about concluded, our times have been set, so without further ado, let's find out who starts where in the 14th race, of course, of this season. Season 4 has had its twists and turns, but the championship battle comes down to only 2 drivers here in Martinsville. So let's get things going and find out who's starting where in the starting grid here in the Paperclip. And to kick things off tonight, the driver, the number 51, it's not going to be the number 51 any longer. The 54 of Sean Conklin goes to the first position and will take his number 54 up to the pole. 19.261 for Conklin as the checkered flag flies in qualifying. He is officially your pole sitter. Then from there, it's going to be James Thurston starting in the 2nd spot. His most recent successes in this series came at Homestead, and now we're going to get back to the top of the board. Maybe Rotor Track will give him bigger success. As we move on, then you'll see Daniel Mosteller starting in 3rd. Demos is going to be just outside of the front row, and with the championship on the line, we've heard that Daniel Mosteller does not intend to complete this race entirely due to timing complications, which may give the championship to Sean Conklin outright, depending on when that happens. From there, brand new driver representing Velocity Online Racing, Julian Altino, should be starting in the 4th position. It's a triple-digit threat to 0-11 outside of row number 2. 5th place is then going to be River Page, and it's going to be the number 24 machine starting in that 5th spot. Vincent Wetch is going to be right behind in the 6th position. Vinny will be starting outside of row number 3. From there on out, Henry Kaloff finds himself in 7th. Could be a lucky night for Kaloff, who had his first career top 5 finish in the IORA Cup Series last week at Pocono, still chasing a podium and still chasing a victory. Tonight is, of course, another opportunity. We'll see whether or not Kaloff can break out from the 7th spot, as Brandon Dugan, after another chance at a podium last week, came home empty-handed with a 4th place finish. He's looking to come back for his 2nd career podium here tonight, and of course, with a smaller field size, there might just be bigger opportunity. Dugan will be starting 8th and 9th place, will then be held by Braxton Whitaker in the number 51. It'll be Will Shack in the 10th position, the final driver of which was currently on the grid, and we're waiting for 2 other drivers who did not set a qualifying time. Those 2 being Michael Cormetis, who's going to be starting 12th and last, and Marcus Vanderlee, the 11th position in the 0:56. That rounds out your starting grid for the Paperclip 150, and now it's time for the iRacing official pace car to grab a gear and get things rolling in Virginia. And taking a look one final time at the field before we get things going, Daniel Mosteller going to send himself to the back of the field, and it looks like that might be the night already. Demos to the back. He's expecting to start and park this race. He has multiple races on the night. He'll try to do the first 10 minutes of this event, but from there on out, he'll be going on to the Drive Smart series of events, kicking off this Thursday night at the Daytona International Speedway. It's going to be a fantastic production over there. I know DJ Lyon will be on the production box, and it's going to be DLB TV and Robert Hill commentating. However, for Mosteller, his night kicks off tonight here in Martinsville. One more lap of pacing, and Sean Conklin, the thought must be already running through his mind. He's got himself another check, of course, to tick off. One final achievement to finally complete and conclude. It's been a chase for a championship all season long, and for a little while there, Daniel Mosteller got back to the points lead. But the last two races, Pocono in particular, Conklin with a major shift in momentum, gaining a double-digit point lead. And now with the understanding that Demos might not finish this event, most likely will not, the championship now in the hands of the Ryko Performance number 54. Doesn't mean it's going to be quite easy for the number 54, however. James Thurston starts on the outside, and they're set to grab a gear this time through. Here we go again. Welcome to Virginia. We're green with the Paperclip 150. And the first caution will fly. Brandon Dugan, Braxton Whitaker, Julian Aldina, and as we watch the opening laps unfold, trouble brews already. The caution is out, and it looks like even in the first 5 laps we see trouble once again. And lingering from Pocono once more, we see an early yellow flag. Let's find out just what happened. Looks like Henry Kaloff goes around first, and Whitaker gets into Dugan. Julian Aldina tried to avoid Henry Kaloff and also went into the wall, and just like that, an early multi-car pileup will give way to a caution 4 laps in out of 150. Yellow flag will fly. It's now going to be Sean Conklin leading once again. He's going to be just ahead of River Page, then James Thurston in 3rd, and Vincent Guecci position number 4. Will Shack is going to be the number 31 tonight. He'll be now in 5th. Just like that, caution flies once more, and it's going to be the dark horse up in front now. First caution of the night, but we've seen quite a few as of recent. Pocono Raceway gave way to a 6th caution event, and eventually came down to the wire. The race victory went the way of Sean Conklin, and Conklin found himself once again at the top of the board when it mattered most. Daniel Mosteller, who is still on the track right now, did not race last week in Pocono, so as such, he comes in with a major points deficit, had to take a drop week for any opportunity at the championship, but it appears right now he's already going to be last on the board, 10th place, and coming down through pit road once again. So the 87 machine, Ford Mustang tonight, makes it down to pit road once more. And it looks like it could be the night already for the 10th and final driver currently on the track. That would leave us with only 9 for the rest of the night. Not as many drivers as we saw earlier in the season, but 2 races remain until we head back to an off-season and return for Season 5 come 2024. To end off the night, perhaps the season, Daniel Mosteller takes into the pit road, additional service, and now I'm going to be getting the 4 tires and fuel necessary to maybe go a little longer on the track. The iRacing official pace car still leads the way as we come by the Geico restart zone. Conklin leads, drops down to the bottom, he'll choose low, and just like that, choose rule is going to be in effect. Thurston goes high, Page goes low, Vincent Guecci opts to follow James Thurston, and there on out, you'll see Will Shack's up top, Henry Kaloff is down on the bottom. 7 laps in out of 150, once again in formation, double file. Daniel Mosteller catching up with the field, and we still have our opening 10 that got this thing going. Michael Cormenis, Marcus Vanderlei did not start tonight's event. Rest of your field made it through practice, qualifying, and now we're back in order to do it all over again. Green flag and a flyer for the first restart of the night. Conklin leads them back to the green, grabs the gear, and gets things rolling. Back on the way from Martinsville. At the line. Sean Conklin's going to have that race lead. Going to be side by side, though, for second, and not giving up easy. James Thurston on the top, who lost the spot previously, is going to keep himself in here as he goes way high. Just can't do it. Now it's going to be Vincent Guecci going down to the bottom side as well. Low line is king here on iRacing in most circumstances, and especially with Martinsville and this track profile, you have to be down to the bottom to make any time, but time won't be made if there's a yellow flag. Caution due to fly for Julian Altina. Yellow flag is out once again, and the VOR number 11 is involved for the second time. Caution is out, Julian Altina involved, and we're going to take it back 30 seconds and find out what happened. Second caution already. Looks like Thurston was up there at the wall to get things going here, but for context, looks like Julian was not around James Thurston or the number 4, so things really kick off. Here's it looks like Julian gets loose, comes up the track, gets hit by Will Shack. Dugan puts himself on the wall, and Whitaker gets away as well. However, it's going to be Julian Altina, looks to be the lone cause of the caution, and then Brandon Dugan and Braxton Whitaker also getting into the incident. Yellow flag flies again, 11 laps in out of 150, and the 0-11 costs the second caution of the night. That time by, looks like the Chevy Camaro is going to have to make it into pit road. Daniel Mosteller there as well, and looks like he just got out of pit road yet again. Caution is out a dozen laps in. Sean Conklin leads the way in the Ryco Performance Ford Mustang, and from there on out, it's going to be a podium made of all Fords. The highest running Chevy Camaro would be Henry Kaloff, who right now leads the Manufacturers Championship for all Chevy drivers, including Daniel Mosteller on a technicality. As you see, tonight, Daniel Mosteller not running a Chevy, and he's done that multiple weeks in the season. Ran a Toyota at Talladega, has run this Ford Mustang now twice. Henry Kaloff has run a Chevy Camaro just about every week of the campaign. So as such, Kaloff, by technicality, does lead the Chevy Camaro Drivers Championship. However, the Chevys are lying back big time to these Fords, especially when you think of the powerhouse drivers like Conklin, Page, your defending champion, and James Thurston. A lot of the best names in IORA have been often loyal to the Blue Oval, and it's shown in the point standing. Sean Conklin, your points leader, coming into tonight, waiting for the sign that Daniel Mosteller will retire the car and end perhaps his chance at the championship. Now, with only a total of 10 drivers here tonight, it would soften the blow for Demos to take a low top 10 finish. Maybe have a chance if he were to come back one final time for Phoenix, but the odds are slim unless Sean Conklin has trouble, and he has before in terms of his equipment. I don't believe that will be the case. Conklin leads once again. Thurston goes way high. River Page going to now be in third, and the dominant man all season long looking now for what could be win number 6 on the tour. Maybe going to find himself close to 50% in terms of the win rate this season if he tries to go back-to-back and maybe add one more next week. Already, the championship is in the mind of many drivers here, particularly your race leader in Sean Conklin, and Sean will lead him down this time through with James Thurston once again by his side. Thurston with a few scuffs, but nothing all too major. We'll see the green flag once again, back on our way, led by Conklin, and we're on a roll once more. And nice jump up there for the opening drivers. You saw the guys were leading it, got through better. Julian Altina drops back into 8th, and Will Shack down into 9th in the Tabasco number 35. Braxton Whitaker's now going to be 2 laps down. He's off of the circuit, whereas now 9 drivers remain on the lead lap, last of which is Will Shack. Sean Conklin right now is already going to get up to Will Shack if he doesn't get turned. Conklin gets close to a turn, gets things saved, and keeps it moving. Sean Conklin's going to be able to save it, but loses all those spots and then some. Now Daniel Mosteller makes it through, and Demos is up to 5th. All of a sudden, the driver not looking to compete for position tonight finds himself neck and neck with his championship rival all over again. Demos up top. He's got Dugan now on the bottom, and it's all sorts of trouble for Sean Conklin as he sees his winning opportunity perhaps slightly less likely. Now Demos is going to have Brandon Dugan back to the bumper once again. Will Shack nearly 1 lap down already. That might cause some interference as the battle for the lead is now neck and neck, and it's going to be a spin. River Page up to the wall, and the yellow flag will fly once more. Caution is out. River Page pushes one too many buttons for James Thurston's liking, and that will give way to your third caution of the night. Yellow flag is out once again. Taking a look down to the bottom side, you'll see Thurston is going to be higher than River Page as they go through 1 and 2. River gets right up there, neck and neck to Thurston, tries to stay there, and as they go into turns 3 and 4, they bobble once, bobble twice, and that's enough to give it away. Page is going to lose his opportunity to keep a spot. Vincent Guecci, very close to taking the lead, doesn't make it work on the timing and scoring loop, and with the caution flying, it's Thurston, Guecci, Kaloff coming down a pit road once again. Daniel Mosteller going to be down and in. He'll have Brandon Dugan right there with them, and once more, Demos makes it down the pit road for what's already his 4th pit stop of the night. He's a frequent flyer already. Dugan's going to be there as well, and Braxton Whitaker is now going to be a total of 8 laps down as it's official. Daniel Mosteller has indeed disconnected from the session. Demos' night will end with at best a 9th place finish, and that might just be the championship wrapped up then and there. Before we hit Phoenix, Sean Conklin has an opportunity now to potentially clinch the championship. And mathematically speaking, I believe a podium would clinch the title and give way to Sean Conklin, becoming only the 3rd driver in IORA Cup Series history to win the title. Mosteller, back-to-back champion in Season 1. James Thurston, your Season 3 champion. And Sean Conklin, he is poised to win if he can get that top 3 finish tonight and seal the deal automatically. Daniel Mosteller, of course, giving him a great run so far this season. It's not necessarily over, but now with Braxton Whitaker back on the track, Demos would have to settle for a dead last finish, and Sean Conklin still has room to continue improving. So this could be a major shift in regards to who's got the points in the championship battle, one that is irreversible. And we'll see if this is where history changes. Could be Conklin's championship to win, but it's not all a guarantee, as James Thurston and the rest of the field, they still want to win this race, and they're racing for their own intentions. So we'll see how fierce it gets up in front as the Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsport number 4 takes to the bottom of the circuit, chooses low, and your control car is James Thurston. Do it all over again as he's up in front now, Sean Conklin and Vincent Guecci. Then in 3rd, restart number 3. Let's get back to it. Green flag's out and Thurston's underway. Going to be a nice and early gap there for James Thurston. Going to be able to get it started quick and get that advantage, exactly what he needs. And just like that, it's the number 4 up at the top of the board. Now you're going to see Sean Conklin is going to be single file, still with the field as well. Is going to be Vincent Guecci and River Page fighting each other for spots, and Henry Kaloff is going to then be in 5th. Page is going to wiggle that number 09 once again, and it could be Vinny now starting to feel the pressure as River Page starts to get closer and closer once more. 25 laps in out of 150. They're already beating and banging like there's only 25 laps to go, and River Page not happy at all, tries to take the spot away once again, locks up the brakes, sends it deep, sends it high for Vincent Guecci, and now Henry Kaloff tries to get involved at the same time, and we'll see what he can do now on the bottom. Kaloff is going to go to the low side. We're riding on board now with Brandon Dugan, and we're going to take a look at the telemetry here as he takes a ride his Chevy Camaro out in front, 26 laps in, out of 150, making it now 27. And a fantastic perspective in this battle here. You'll see Brandon Dugan keeping it way down to the low side through the corners. You want to hit that apex every lap, no matter what. Henry Kaloff going to be there on the bottom side. He thinks he's got the advantage in terms of the corners, but the straightaways have given Vincent Guecci everything he needs to get right back into play. It's going to be Vinny now in 4th. Henry Kaloff putting in a valiant effort, but he's still going to get closer and closer and losing a spot to Brandon Dugan. Dugan, whose career best IORA finish came in the Bristol Motor Speedway. It was, of course, a 2nd place run, and it was one of the best performances of his entire iRacing career. Now the question is whether or not he can back up that short track pace. Last week, 4th place by 26 thousandths of a second. River Page beat him, and he knows he could be a consistent top 3 driver if things go his way week after week. And right now, it might not be luck of the draw, but it is Vincent Guecci holding up Key and Henry Kaloff, as it looks like Vinny got back in order. Now it's going to be Sean Conklin trying to chase down James Thurston. James has the race lead, and going down to these two drivers last week when we went at it at Pocono, Sean Conklin had the advantage in strategy and did all he needed to do to hold on and get James Thurston at the very end of the night. Came down to the final 5 laps, as a matter of fact. Casey Bentz was leading, was 10 laps short on fuel, was not able to go all the way, and as such, it was James Thurston who then was the man who took the race lead, and he had it with about 10 to go, and from there on out, tried lap after lap to keep Sean Conklin at bay, but when Conklin has it locked in, just about the best driver in any field, no matter what. So for Sean Conklin and the Ryco Performance number 54, once again, looks set to chase down James Thurston. However, it doesn't look to be as easy as before prior in the season, as 32 laps in make it 33, getting our longest run so far, and still looks like Conklin hasn't quite figured out the method to James Thurston's madness, as the Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsport number 4 holds on now in the lead. Look further back and you'll see Henry Kaloff now going to get some pressure from Julian Altina, and she'll be coming right up there with Henry Kaloff too. Julian's going to be inside of the top 10, of course, 7th place right now, looking to maybe have a top 5 run if all goes well, and Henry Kaloff slowly but surely fading back is giving way for an opportunity to take the position. Henry Kaloff is going to be in 6th right now. Brandon Dugan, that's the man in 5th. It's Vinny in 4th, Vincent Guecci, River Page is going to be 3rd, and Sean Conklin then in 2nd. Right now, it's going to be the rotors that are glowing big time from every driver in the field. Doesn't matter if it's a Ford, if it's a Chevy, it's a Toyota, everyone experiencing how heavy the load is in terms of brakes, and those rotors will show you the brightness is clear as day, even at a night track, and you'll see it more and more as they go through turns 3 and 4. The rotors lit up by the heat and pressure, of course, putting it all into the power down the straightaways, then hitting the brakes immediately thereafter, and in such a long cycle of 150 laps. It's a lot to do repeatedly, especially since those short straightaways give way to turns again and again and again. We're already 37 laps in as it stands, and with ways to go, we'll see how long those tires hold up, because if the brakes get warm, the tires get warm, and as a result, you lose a bit more grip lap after lap, lose that traction, lose more speed. So the tire game is going to be one important to play. Right now, though, deficits are not major. As a matter of fact, that time by, it looks like James Thurston only 0.4 of a second slower than his all-time best lap. For Brandon Dugan, only 0.1 of a second slower. So it looks like overall, drivers are equaling out nicely so far in this opening stint. As we finally get ourselves into a rhythm. This is the 39th lap of 150 in the Paperclip 150. For joining us early on in the action, you've still got a ways to go. Live on FTN, all coverage of the IORA Cup Series, plus bringing back very soon the Integrity Ignite Series, the Integrity Octane Series, the Highline Racing League, Saturday Night Trucks, the Schumacher Racing League, and in addition, also returning the FORL Cup Series. Lot to look forward to live on FTN come 2024, taking this final month to give you some IORA action, and then we'll get right back into business. 41 laps in out of 150, and Brandon Dugan, he right now runs in 5th. Your top 5 goes as follows. James Thurston, your race leader, is of course in 1st. Then it'll be Sean Conklin in 2nd, River Page is in 3rd, Vincent Guecci is 4th, and Brandon Dugan is in 5th. Will Shack is 8th place right now, and in jeopardy of going 1 lap down. Take a look off the back end of this number 35. And you'll see already that James Thurston making waves here, going down to the bottom side. Will Shack is going to be now far out the way. Brandon Dugan's going to end up very far back as well. Here you see River Page barely gets by Will Shack. And just like that, another set of drivers making it by the number 35. Will Shack is 1 lap down now, leaving only 7 drivers on the lead lap, going back to Julian Altina, and she will be fighting with Henry Kaloff. Julian goes high. That time through, Henry Kaloff tries to to get that early braking. Works out well for his case, not quite as well for the 0-11. Right now, the triple-digit threat still trying to find a way, has caught up to Henry Kaloff, but has not quite made the pass. 35 laps in out of 150. It's like already working it corner after corner. The number 63 losing a bit more performance each and every time around. And now it's going to be Brandon Dugan looking low, and he's got Vincent Guecci in his sights, and now right to his outside. Nice move for the 55 machine if he can just keep it there. Doesn't look like he had it then. Close as he's been all night long to making the move. Wiggles Guecci up, taps Guecci out, and it could be a caution. That it will not be immediately. The yellow flag will not be brought out, as it looks like now Vincent Guecci gets back on the way. No yellow flag to fly. Vincent Guecci going to be the man who loses the most of it, and just like that, single card spin, we will keep it green. Take a look once again. Brandon Dugan not at all happy, and it looks like he found finally way to make it by the 0-9. As for TJ Hanley and TH Designs, the most successful man on the team, once again makes the moves necessary, but I don't think it's going to be anything to, of course, be proud of there. In regards to Vincent Guecci, I don't think he's going to forget it. Will Shack is going to disconnect from the session. He's now 3 laps down, and just like that, Vincent Guecci now in jeopardy of going 1 lap down himself. 16 seconds back on your race leader in James Thurston, who is now on the same straightaway as the 0-9. And all of a sudden, trouble brewing here in Virginia. And the first third of this race going to come to a close this time around. Thurston still leads, 49 laps in out of 150. Make it lap 50. Already been James Thurston dominance to this point. Look further back, and past Sean Conklin and past River Page as well. Then you'll get once again back to Brandon Dugan, then in 4th. And right now, Henry Kaloff is in 5th and Julian Altina is in 6th. Not many drivers to mention, but Brandon Dugan now hoping to get back up to River Page. He finished right behind River Page last week. It was a beating and banging finish all the way to the line at 26 thousandths of a second separated he and Page. It was Page who eventually got the better of him for the final podium spot on the night. And even though Brandon Dugan didn't quite get it on that specific occasion, he has shown more and more that he's continuously improved and giving himself more opportunities to display that ever progressing talent night after night, race after race. And with a career high finish of 2nd at Bristol, there is certainly an opportunity for Brandon Dugan to go 1 spot higher if all the stars align, and maybe if he gets the perfect track and perfect chance to do so. So far, one of the better drivers on the short tracks this season. 2nd place at Bristol, currently running 4th here in Martinsville, so not at all bad performances, especially given the tricky nature of these tracks. We've seen many drivers find themselves up in the wall, down a pit road. A few drivers have already disconnected in Daniel Mosteller and Will Shack, respectively. However, for Brandon Dugan, he keeps things going and keeps them going nicely. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see whether or not Dugan can stay up here and maybe keep Henry Kaloff behind, because all of a sudden Kaloff is pulled away from Altina, and it's going to be Henry now in 5th, firmly on his own in that position. 55 laps in out of 150, and it's going to be River Page and now Sean Conklin getting closer to James Thurston. Conklin doing a lot of that heavy lifting here, as it looks like James Thurston just about made the biggest mistake of the night, and 1 minor slip up will do just that to you. Now caught up, it's a quarter of a second between your top 2 drivers, and they could be neck and neck by the time they get to Vincent Guecci. Now Vinny's going to be a marker for the number 4, and if Guecci can be used properly as a pickoff maneuver, it could be just enough for Thurston to either maintain his lead or for Sean Conklin to regain the lead. We'll see who gets the edge as they come down the front stretch this time by. Guecci's got the choice. Where does he go? Down to the bottom side, keeping things moving. 58 laps into the 150, and he not give up just yet. He's still got a little bit of room before Thurston gets to him and almost puts the bumper down there. Vinny's going to get wiggled right up top, and just like that, it's going to be beaten and banging between your leader and a lap car. Guecci remains high and opts to let Thurston go. Looks like he's now going to give some pressure to Sean Conklin. And it might just be enough to do some damage. Conklin to the wall. He's going to keep it straight, or does he? No! Sean Conklin finds trouble with the lapper, and the yellow flag is out. Vincent Guecci and Sean Conklin collide, and the caution flies for the 4th time tonight. And taking a look back to find out just what happened, you're looking at it once again. Sean Conklin had himself in the 2nd spot. Vincent Guecci was set to go 1 lap down, and that he did, only to bounce off the wall, hit Sean Conklin, and bring him to a halt. It's Conklin who's now going to fade back into 3rd, and with yellow flag out, 60 laps in, will give way to a pit stop cycle with the majority of your field. Live on FTN, you're going to see drivers working their way into pit road, and the pit road entry is as busy as it's been all night long. Expect possibly a one-stop race the way things are looking. 61 laps in to get our first pit stop for many drivers, and that means we should be able to go just about all the way from this point onward. Yellow flag flies, 61 laps in. Thurston's going to win off pit road from River Page, and then from there it's going to be Brandon Dugan trying to get the jump on Conklin. Conklin gets out 3rd, Dugan 4th, and Henry Caloff then in 5th. James Thurston's going to come across the line once again, and as your race leader, Thurston once again has that top spot. And now coming to lap number 62, oh so close to the halfway marker. Page is catching up as well. River's going to be in 2nd, and Sean Conklin, despite the incident, rounds out your top 3. Now, one of the most important factors with another caution is the fact that some drivers have used their fast repair and some have not. Julian Altina, Brandon Dugan, they have both used their fast repair, and the rest of the field has not. So for Dugan and Altina in particular, they've got to be very careful of how they approach the remainder of this race, knowing more than half of it is still ahead of us, and knowing that they don't have that extra second chance remaining. If they get involved in risky shenanigans like a yellow flag or anything of that nature, they'd be at a major disadvantage. It's going to be Thurston going down low. So does River Page. Sean Conklin, in an attempt to maybe get a little more track position back, he'll go high, and he'll take Brandon Dugan right there with him. Brandon is up to 4th. Yellow flag out for the 4th time tonight, which will give way to your 4th restart of the day, and the Martinsville Speedway is now seeing over 60 laps of action. Green flag, yellow flag, and what's been in between. It's time to find out whether or not Thurston's got the pace up in front, or if it's going to be Sean Conklin holding his own in a quest to clinch the championship. Green flag's out yet again. Back on our way, James Thurston has the lead. And the battle for 2nd remains fierce, while James Thurston's going to be able to get away at the line. It's going to be Thurston up in front, then going to be River Page in 2nd, and Sean Conklin there in 3rd. Early jump for the number 4 is going to see another battle right behind, and it's going to be River Page shot down to the bottom of the track at the wall. He's going to be retained, but the caution flies regardless, and the yellow flag is out once again for River Page, and that is the 5th of the night. We are back under yellow once again. Let's take a look at what just happened here. As you will see, River Page gets caught up in it with Sean Conklin right behind him, and we'll see when things escalate. It looks like a wiggle coming down the front stretch, but that is not where the wreck begins. It's going to happen as Conklin gets himself almost into River Page. Page gets the back end loose coming down the back straightaway. As such, nosedives right toward the wall. Caution is out once again, 5th instance, and it's going to be Page the cause as the yellow flag is out, 66 laps in, out of 150. River Page back down to pit road. He's going to top off, get a bit of extra service and some damage repair, whereas James Thurston, Sean Conklin, and Brandon Dugan are your podium as it stands. Braxton Whitaker going to be very close to getting back on the lead lap now. Only 2 laps down. Infinite laps can be returned, technically speaking, as many as you possibly can get before the 1 to go signal, which means Braxton Whitaker should be good to go, and most likely will be back on the lead lap by the time we get things going for this restart, which should be at about the end of lap 70, lap 71. could be our restart lap. So now as Braxton gets right back up to the start-finish line, he's going to be 1 lap down next time around, and if he gets one more, he should be able to. He'll be back on the lead lap, fighting with the field from the 8th position, hoping to go further up. Let's ride on board with Braxton Whitaker as he aims to get a few laps back in the final moments of this caution. And now it's going to be Braxton Whitaker back on that lead lap just behind River Page. Page comes out of pit road. Braxton Whitaker comes through the field. And now it's 69 laps on so far. Very nice redemption for Braxton Whitaker, who found himself as low as 10 laps down earlier in the night. No longer the case, and just like that, the lead lap will see a total of 8 drivers this time by. Now time to get back with the field as they'll come across the start-finish line. End of lap 70. We are set to get restarted. Thurston goes low as your control car. Sean Conklin will go up top once again. Braxton Whitaker's now going to be back with the lead lappers, but it's going to be his teammate in Brandon Dugan running in 3rd. 4th place will be Henry Kaloff there in the number 63. Set to get to our halfway point on this run. We'll see what you guys have in store from there on out. Early so far, we've seen one major pit cycle. Rest of field staying calm and collected as Thurston's going to be running with a number 54 all over again to fight for the race lead. Here we go. It's going to be the number 4 of James Thurston, bringing them back to the green flag, and we are rolling once again. Green flag's out, led by Thurston. And now it's going to be some hard-fought battles just behind the top 3. Dugan finds himself on the podium. Vincent Quetchy's going to find himself in 4th. And now it's going to be looking River Page down low, trying to get something done to get back with the top 3 and maybe take charge. There goes Vincent Quetchy right up top once again. And Vinny's going to have some trouble dealing with River Page once more. It looks like River going to power through, get back up into 4th, and not trying to replicate what happened with Brandon Dugan. Vincent Quetchy immediately gets out of his way. So just like that, the Miata Gang Designs number 24 makes it right back up into the 4th spot and hopes to get right there with the number 55 of Dugan ahead. However, it's going to be Sean Conklin spinning on his own, and the yellow flag is not going to fly until now. Yellow flag is out for the 6th time. It's Sean Conklin spinning to the back of the field, and 8th place for Conklin brings him all the way to the rear on a single car 360 spin. Yellow flag is out once again, and we are under caution for the second time tonight. 7th time, as a matter of fact, and we are back under yellow. Now let's take a look and find out what just happened as we take a glance at your instant replay. And it's going to be a minor curb hop that sets it all off. Nothing major, but a small driver mistake. That's what can send you spinning just like that. So an immediate spin as he snaps out of control will give Sean Conklin the 8th position. He'll come back down in with Braxton Whitaker, and it looks like trouble after getting back into the top 3 for Sean Conklin. And even though he's had podium speed, looks like some mistakes have lost him the opportunity a few times over, and not trying to do so again. There's still half the race remaining. You don't want to make those mistakes in the second half, because that could have cost him the win if that was the end of the race and not just the end of the half. James Thurston leads from Brandon Dugan in 2nd, River Page in 3rd, and now Henry Kaloff in 4th. It's going to then be Vincent Quetchy 5th, Julian Altina in 6th, and Sean Conklin is in 7th, with Braxton Whitaker, the 8th and final driver, still active on the track. And then it's going to be 9th and 10th in Daniel Mosteller and Will Shack, 76 laps in out of 150. return to the action in just a few moments time. This is the Paperclip 150 live for the Martinsville Speedway. It's going to be James Thurston in first, Brandon Dugan second, River Page then in third, Henry Kaloff position number 4. As it stands, the top 5 is concluded by Vincent Guecci, and they're set to go double file yet again. It's going to be Thurston and the Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsport crew up in front, with the edge coming to the line and the control car for 3 consecutive restarts. James Thurston holds his own and maintains the top spot. Pole position goes once again to James Thurston on this restart, and he's going to kick off the second half with all the track position he'll need. River Page goes up high. He's going to try to take one away from Brandon Dugan on the initial jump. It's a risk, but with the speed that River has, might just be worth taking. Brandon Dugan's going to be starting third. Vincent Guecci goes fourth again. It'll be Sean Conklin then in fifth. Here we go. 78 laps in out of 150. Bring them all the way up to 79 this time by, as Page and Thurston have the field in their hands. Green flag flies with James Thurston up in front, back underway from the clip. Brandon Dugan's going to go way wide and lose all the track position he had. James Thurston goes spinning, and the yellow flag will fly yet again. Julian Altina caught up in it as well. James Thurston goes around, and the caution's out again. 80 laps in out of 150. Yellow flag flies, and just looks like another incident where one driver gets things going and the rest come in like a chain reaction. James Thurston is going to find himself in trouble this time by. Take a look once again and you'll see just what caused it. Thurston's going to get bumped by River Page twice, and that second time was the kicker. And James Thurston looked to be out of it until Julian Altina limped into the picture and spun around immediately thereafter. Yellow flag is out again. James Thurston, Julian Altina, River Page all involved, and it's going to be the 8th instance of a yellow flag. Caution out once more, and look to have ourselves another restart here. We'll get back at it with Vincent Guecci for the first time all night long. Is your race leader changing the man up in front? It's Vincent Guecci having a chance for the first time all throughout this event, and a Ford Mustang leading another Ford Mustang leading a Chevy Camaro. Matter of fact, tonight, I don't believe we have any Toyota Camrys in attendance in the field, and now it's going to be 2 of the manufacturers that represent tonight, a Chevy and a Ford, coming down and in. Julian Altina, James Thurston both making it in, and Vincent Guecci leading 82 laps into the 150. 8 drivers on the lead lap, and that might have just gone down to 7 because Brandon Dugan's been on pit road for 1 lap. So Brandon Dugan is now going to find himself off the lead lap, and that might be it for him as the 55 makes it in once again. We'll see whether or not this is permanent as Dugan opts to drive down to the bottom of the circuit. 82 laps in out of 150, still a ways to go, and overall throughout the night, very fair track conditions. This is a look at your current conditions here from the virtual Martinsville Speedway. 77 degrees Fahrenheit, that is your air temperature. A very moderate temp here in Martinsville with very low humidity percentage and northbound winds up 2 miles an hour. Clear skies and all sunny before the sun of course set, and now with 1 lap to green. Getting back at it here in Martinsville, there's quite a lot of things to worry about, but tonight the weather won't be one of them. That's a quick look at your current conditions here in the virtual Martinsville Speedway. We'll get back at it here with Vincent Guecci and Henry Kaloff, your new race leaders, first and second up in front. And here we go again. It's going to be now 2 laps to green once more. Minor extension as the field gets back to the leaders. And looking at Brandon Dugan now, he'll be able to get back on the lead lap, so he's given that chance and get back up into the 8th position on the lead lap. Vincent Guecci is going to be now the leading driver up in front, 84 laps in out of 150. Now getting closer to the triple-digit marker, and the final 50 laps are near. And that final 50 is going to be the dash till the very end that really determines who's got what it takes to go home in victory lane. You made it so far. The majority of the field has. There's there's still certainly an opportunity for you. Vincent Guecci's played his cards right, and now as the iRacing official pace car will drop in, it'll be he and Henry Kaloff leading the field to the green for the first time tonight. Green flag is out with Vincent Guecci, a leader, as he takes him through and gets spun immediately by River Page. Yellow flag is going to fly almost immediately. There we go again. Caution is out, and Vincent Guecci gets sent by River Page. Yellow flag returns in the air, and that one we've seen one too many times. Page sends Guecci once, and then it looks like he gets him twice, and that is usually the kicker. Take a look at this. This is already before we get to the front stretch. Then they get things going. Go through 1 and 2, immediately sent in, and the yellow flag will fly after that. Everyone gets around, but Guecci, with all the hard work he put in, sees River Page spin as well, but that's nothing in terms of getting any sort of redemption, because now it's going to be Guecci back of the field yet again. Yellow flag is out. Caution will fly. Once again, River Page is going to spin Vincent Guecci under yellow, and there are dramatics under the caution, and it looks like Vincent Guecci not happy at all, and we are seeing some tempers flare at a short track. Guecci gets things going. Page is going to be now with the line up here just behind the leader of Thurston. What's Guecci going to do as we ride on board? He's getting back up to the field, and he is clearly not happy. And it looks like, while of course Guecci charged right up to the track and the driver's ahead, he's not going to go down a pit row with River Page there, and he's just going to let bygones be bygones for the time being. However, it's a signal, it's a message. Guecci and Page not happy with each other at all, and that's going to impact the rest of this race here, because now we are seeing those tempers flare in real time, and it's going to become more and more anger and, shall we say, vitriol held up and more so accelerated as the race goes on. And the more incidents there are, the more laps we see under yellow, the more the tempers flare, and it is a vicious cycle in terms of how drivers treat each other lap after lap. This could get vicious. We'll see what happens now as 88 laps in out of 150, nearly at the triple-digit marker. We had ourselves a run of successive yellow flags, caution after caution after caution. Now the question is, do we get things going once again? Now we're bound to see. Thurston is your leader. Henry Kaloff is the man in second as the field is set to get at it this time by. We are expecting a minor extension as the pace car's lights are still off. River Page and Julian Altina not yet caught up, but they will have to suffer the consequences as now Thurston and Kaloff get to reap the benefits of maintaining a clean race car tonight. Green flag is going to fly this time through. Here we go again. Green's back out. Thurston will lead him, and it's going to be a dive into turn 1 immediately thereafter. Braxton Whitaker going to be neck and neck here with Vincent Guecci. Does Guecci get turned once again? That he does, and up into the wall. And Vincent Guecci's night of despair goes from bad to worse. No caution going to fly for Vinny that time, though. And it looks like he's just going to have to get back up there naturally. River Page gets to 7th. Julian Altina is going to be in 6th. And Dugan is in 5th. Sean Conklin gets the 2 for 1 on that play and is now going to move up into 4th. While Braxton Whitaker maintains a podium position. And a first-time podium finisher. It could be Henry Kaloff's very first top 3 finish. If he can get up to James Thurston, it could be a first win. And now Kaloff looks quick, looks low, doesn't go for the pass, and lets James Thurston have all the room he needs. And it looks like he faked low for a brief moment, but doesn't have enough momentum to make the strategy work. Now it's going to be James Thurston pressured big time by the number 63. And all of a sudden, we have a new driver fighting up in front, looking for a top spot. And Kaloff might have not been the quickest driver all night long, but most often, and this is the most important aspect of how he's drove all throughout the year, he keeps it under him and keeps it clean, as it's going to be Braxton Whitaker inside the wall this time by. That will bring out the yellow flag and destroyed. It's going to be a spark of course, a shower of sparks right behind the 51. Yellow flag is out again, and the instant replay will show you this looked to be another independent one-car caution. We'll see whether or not that truly was the case. The teammates, the 51 and the 55, once again with each other. Whitaker sends himself a little deep, and it looks like no contact, and he gets things going by himself, tags Dugan, and ends up in the wall with the yellow flag flying yet again. 95 laps in out of 150, and that's the instant replay on what looks to be the 10th caution of the night. We're looking to get official confirmation on that number. So as the yellow flag flies 95 laps in, this is your race summary to this point, and it looks like it will be 9 cautions this time by, not including the initial pace laps. So 9 cautions, 10 periods under pacing, 55 laps to go, and so far 35 caution laps, 6 lead changes. So overall, not too many changes up in front, but quite a lot of laps left, of course, and quite a lot of laps not led under green, but instead led by the pace cars. So hopefully, as the race progresses, maybe we'll get ourselves one final long green flag run, but that still is not going to be a certainty here as aggression continues to pick up more and more. Tempers may continue to flare, and pit road is getting a bit busy once again. Julian Altina is going to be there, and she'll be with Vincent Guecci and Braxton Whitaker. 3 drivers all looking to make something happen as they come down to pit road for various reasons. It's going to be strategy, of course. It's going to be some extra damage repair. Now we'll see whether or not they can get back competitively with the field, as it looks like Braxton goes 1 lap down. Julian Altina and Vincent Guecci will avoid that fate and make it back out on the track. And now, 97 laps in, James Thurston will lead from Henry Kaloff and Sean Conklin. Conklin, the third man of this podium picture, he's been the one who's been chasing down James Thurston for most of the night, but has not yet gotten that chance to strike fear in the number 4 and really make a big move. So we'll see whether or not that can change as the night progresses. I mean, 97 laps in, still more than 50 laps to go, but as time continues to run out here, Martinsville, 50 laps is only 25 miles. That's equivalent to just about 10 laps at Daytona and Westtown, 10 of which at Talladega. So you're really running out of time in terms of making that big move. You gotta start thinking about when it's right to make one, because with about 5 laps to go, the field is either going to be as close as it's been all night long or just about the most spread out it could possibly be. Strategy in the late race picture going to come into mind, as it's going to be James Thurston leading the way this time through. Green flag going to fly yet again, and here we get it going. Green flag is out, led by James Thurston, as he'll take Conklin right behind him. Thurston gets a nice jump once more. He's going to have it ahead of Sean Conklin, and River Page will still be in 3rd, not to mention Henry Kaloff and Vincent Guecci 4th and 5th. It's going to be single file for most of these guys running in a train, and now it looks like the inside line once again is king. Braxton Whitaker, after a successful comeback run, is now going to be 4 laps down yet again, 96 laps to the leaders, 100 and now 101. So unfortunately for Braxton, if they do keep this thing going, maybe the redemption arc will not have a successful closure. However, still a very impressive performance to get back up with the leaders when all is said and done. Now it's going to be James Thurston leading the way once again. There's Sean Conklin in 2nd. River Page is still in 3rd, and is right on board here with the River Page number 24 team. You'll see how close he is to making something happen on Conklin, and he's added the pressure that most other drivers have not been able to put down all throughout the night. To simply put it, Thurston has been intimidating drivers all throughout the season. One of the more aggressive in this field. Take a lap on board here and find out exactly how he does it as he tries to make a spot here with Sean Conklin just ahead. And getting closer and closer to making something happen. River Page that time by with a 19.099 second lap. Not quite, it was a 19.213. Still very close to his all-time fastest. Losing a little more time there is Sean Conklin on a lap by lap bases, still trying to get up for what could be his first win of the season. River Page, in his most recent interview, remarked that it's an incredible struggle to get that race win or even a second place finish with how good at, of course, this consistency game as Sean Conklin's been. And he additionally mentioned when drivers like Daniel Mosteller and Sean Conklin and, of course, James Thurston are all running against each other race after race, consistently fighting in the podium, it's very hard to even muster up a third place finish, let alone second or the race win. So right now for River Page, even though he struggled all throughout the season to consistently be the top 3 driver he's hoped to be, he is absolutely one driver not to mess with in campaign. And it looks like now he has an opportunity perhaps to come home second in the championship standings as Daniel Mosteller parked it for the night and now is the 10th and final driver in your standings for this event. 108 laps in, James Thurston leads the way and is now getting back in full control with Conklin in second, Page in third, and Vincent Guecci fourth. It's going to be Guecci now right ahead of Henry Kaloff and Brandon Dugan. Julian Altina finds herself now in the 7th spot, and Julian is a double digit, of course, make it a triple digit threat. 0-11 races for the first time in her IORA Cup Series career, running tonight in 7th with Braxton Whitaker 4 laps down, running in 8th. It is an 8-driver field currently still on the track, and Julian Altina is going to randomly lose it and hook it right up the top of the track. Altina finds trouble. Yellow flag will not fly as he keeps it going. Looks like all of a sudden comes out of whack and hooks up to the top of the circuit. Julian Altina keeps things going with major damage now, and it looks like the VOR number 011 runs slower and slower, lets Braxton Whitaker by. Now it's going to be some more trouble to see whether or not Julian can keep things going for the remainder of this race. And what looks to be the dying down portion of this run, where drivers are running a bit less aggressive, your leaders are hoping to prove that's not quite the case. There goes Sean Conklin trying to make it down to the back bumper of James Thurston. Thurston's got the lead. Conklin not quite, but he's still close. And now it's going to be whether or not Conklin can get that run on the inside, but he just can't find the opening. There's James Thurston still blocking with all he's got. Number 4 machine has the advantage, and while it is slight, it's enough to keep him just ahead. Sean Conklin putting the back bumper down on that number 4 once more. It's going to be Mustang on Mustang, the Blue Ovals mustering everything they've got inside the engine, trying to make it happen. Who's going to get the advantage? Who will make it stick? It's not an answer yet. It's still quite a lot of questions in succession. Every lap a question mark so far, and with 114 laps in, there's still more than 30 remaining to find out whether or not James Thurston can seal the deal and wrap things up tonight as a race winner. At the stripe again, Thurston has the lead. It's going to be Daniel Mosteller's championship rival running in second, and while Demos is not here in this event, no longer racing to fight for the championship, he's seeing now that it's going to be all Sean Conklin trying to make something happen. Rotors glowing, motors are burning up fuel, lap after lap. It's all about putting 110% in. Nobody else in sight for these two drivers, and now with 116 laps through, Thurston's got to understand how he can maybe separate himself, and for Sean Conklin, it might just be maybe, but there's still a chance for him to get by James Thurston, even if for so long he's been caught up in catching this number 4. And it's always a different element, of course, of passing a driver as opposed to catching up to them. For the Ryko Performance Ford Mustang, he's been right there in the back bumper of Thurston most of the night. However, now making a few more sloppy errors. And those small errors, slowly but surely, add up, and the cumulative result ends up being less than positive for the Ryko 54. James Thurston's going to be there leading the way. Sean Conklin then going to be in second. First and second, respectively, separate by only 3.5 tenths. Then there's River, who's going to be in third. Henry Kaloff is in the 4th spot, and Vincent Guecci is there in 5th. Look at Dugan, who's going to be in the 6th spot right now, still in, of course, close enough distance if there's a mistake. But right now for Brandon Dugan, he's just got to hold on to what he's got in regards to his position. Maybe nothing else can be done in terms of his night, and he'll just have to power through with position number 6. But I'm sure he's not going to quit just yet, seeing how close Kaloff and Guecci are getting. Vincent Guecci was being raced quite aggressively all night long. We'll see how much he gives and how much he takes. He's not going to be happy at all with Kaloff already, putting the bumper in once. I have no reason not to lay off here, as you'll see. Getting closer and closer, dives a bit deeper into the corner, maybe misses the apex just a bit, but the draft strong enough to keep him in there without a shadow of a doubt. Rotors glowing once more, Kaloff goes high, Guecci stays low, Guecci's got the apex, and maybe Vinny's got a shot to make it work. As he gets closer through 3 and 4, the number 63 remains advantageous, but only slightly here, as 122 laps in at a 150. Conklin and Thurston come through first and second, and we're coming up on Julian Altina, and after her freak incident about 15 laps ago, she's still driving it, still keeping it straight. So it looks like, despite the fact that there was a bit of a miscommunication, or rather a miscalculation in making the first corner, she kept things going, kept it calm and collected, and is still running in 7th for what should be, no matter what, a top 10 on debut. And if, of course, there is a mistake maybe ahead, it could be a top 5. It's going to be now Dugan watching as Guecci's going to go side by side with Henry Kaloff, and there goes Vinny trying to the bottom side. Kaloff gets it once again, and as the leaders get by Julian Altina, they make it by in succession, one after the other. Nothing crazy, they get by quite easily, and just like that, the Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsport number 4 of James Thurston will find himself in first. Sean Conklin then going to be in second. River Page is going to be third, and Henry Kaloff is then in fourth, 125 laps in out of 150. This time by, we'll only have ourselves 25 laps to go, as Braxton Whitaker set to go down this time by 4 laps. Far off the pace even more so than before, as the TH Designs number 51 limps around the circuit. Thurston getting close, and it looks like Conklin getting closer. Now it's going to be Whitaker up in the wall at 126 laps in to make it 127. Thurston leads by 0.4 of a second here, and looking to flip the script. Last week, Thurston thought he had an opportunity to come home with a race victory ahead of Sean Conklin, but in the dying laps, that did not stand in the slightest. It looked like it could have been Thurston's night with a 5-second lead with 10 laps to go after Casey Bentz went down a pit road, but final 5, it went from a 5-second lead to a 2-second deficit, which just was not enough for Thurston to hold on until the very end. 128 laps in now, and he's continuing to keep it up there, but you're starting to see, after some sloppy errors early, Sean Conklin starting to maybe make a rebound and gain some more time back. What looked to be a lost cause might not be just yet. Is hope, and there is a light, perhaps at the end of this tunnel. And as they come through this time by, 22 laps to go on the day, and we'd like to thank our iRacing camera partner at TrackCams22.com for their fantastic cameras all throughout this campaign. Live on FTN with over 100 car and track combinations, visit TrackCams22.com for the best cameras on the iRacing platform, as we will crank it up with 22 laps to go live on FTN. And the caution will fly, and that will not be the case. Vincent Guecci goes spinning once again, and the yellow flag is out for Vinny, as we will delay our crank it up to immediately after this restart. Yellow flag is out, and now it's going to be 20 laps remaining. Take a look at this here. It's going to be Kaloff going way high, and it looks like as Vincent Guecci gets off of the corner, and they're neck and neck, side by side, beating and banging, and Guecci ends up sliding down low and taking the most of the impact. With 20 laps to go, another incident for Guecci, and a night that has been absolute disappointment continues to show. Just wasn't a night here for Vinny as he makes it down to pit road, and Martinsville not treating him any nicely throughout any of this race. From start to finish, trouble and despair for Guecci, as it looks like again he's going to make it down to pit road and hopefully get back out there, as Brandon Dugan is your race leader. Pit road going to get busy one more time. It's going to be James Thurston beaten out by Sean Conklin and River Page. It looks like at the line, River Page will be your race leader. Page is going to be the man who wins off of pit road, and getting the opportunity with track position might be make or break. Page waiting for a chance, hoping for an opportunity to break through, get the spots he needs to fight for a win, and it looks like it might just have fallen into his hands. How about that? It's going to be a huge move for River Page, and he's going to be able to take the race lead with 19 laps to go, coming down to 18 now. Shoes rules going to be in effect momentarily, and all of a sudden going from just within the confines of a podium to potentially with a chance for the win. River Page, not done yet, is going to keep the fight alive as he's set to roll through. Checkered flag now less than 20 miles away, now less than 10 miles away. It's going to be a last dash to remember, as it's going to be Thurston up top. River Page still right behind Dugan. Brandon Dugan is going to choose to stay out on the track here, and unless he goes down to pit road late, which is a possibility, it could be Brandon Dugan fighting him these final laps to show that he's still got something. Though he's got a much older set of tire than anyone else in the field, a 46 lap set, oldest of which by over 10 laps, and right now nobody else is even able to compare. Julian Altina, Braxton Whitaker over 30 laps on their set, rest of the field only 2 laps, a brand new set of Goodyear rubber for the majority of these drivers, and Dugan will not back down. Dugan goes high, Page goes low, Conklin and Thurston opt to go to the high side as well, and all of a sudden your control car will go right up to the top with older tires. If he does end up slipping and sliding, it won't be much of a risk as he's going to be up there on the higher side, so luckily it won't cause any damage to anyone else in the field. 16 to go. This time through, it's going to be River Page and Brandon Dugan neck and neck. Vincent Guecci and Sean Conklin right there with each other as well, as the iRacing official pace car drops down and in. We'll get back at it with a crank it up here with 15 laps remaining. Brought to you by our friends at TrackCams22.com. Let's crank it up with the best cameras on the iRacing platform. Green flags out with 15 laps to go, and we're cranking it up here in Virginia. And the caution will fly, which will give way to a shortened crank it up, and just like that, yellow flag out. Once again, Brandon Dugan going to be involved this time by, and for the race leader on that restart, all the way back now with 12 laps to go, down in 7th. Going to be hit there by Conklin, then turned around by Braxton Whitaker. Yellow flag flies once more, and with 12 laps to go, once again an incident. And just like that, it's going to be Dugan finding trouble as he gets back on his way. River Page is going to be a race leader as it stands still with 12 laps to go, a dozen left to do it, and it's going to be Page, then it's going to be Vincent Guecci, James Thurston is going to be in 3rd, and in 4th place it will then be the driver, the number 54, Sean Conklin. With a little bit of time before we get things going once again, we'd like to thank our friends at iRacing Motorsport Simulations to allow us to give some iRacing codes away on our Twitter throughout the remainder of December. So we're going to be giving out some iRacing codes to end the year in 2023, and a credible fan base here at FTN has given us the opportunity to grow our audience and give back with some opportunities to join the world's leading online racing simulator. Check out a brief promotional break from our friends at iRacing Motorsport Simulations, and we'll be back with all the remaining action here in the IORA Cup Series as we return from this brief message.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most.
And returning this time through, it's going to be only 10 laps remaining, coming down to 9. The single digits get things going. Green flag is out, and River Page has the lead. Page gets the jump and finds himself advantageous over Vincent Guecci and James Thurston. Thurston lunges deep, tries to make something stick, and just like that, it's going to be James up into the second spot for the time being as they come around yet again with only 8 laps remaining. And now the final run is in full swing. It's a do-or-die moment for every driver to execute upon the plan. As you'll see, Thurston drops down low, tries to get away from Conklin. Sean gets sent up high and gets sent out of line. Conklin going to be down to 4th and not looking for a non-podium run. It would be mathematically impossible for Daniel Mostello to come back if he finishes inside the top 3, gets back in there, and all of a sudden, Guecci going to be fighting fiercely now with Sean Conklin as 144 laps in, a battle brews in the dying laps of this event. River Page finds himself the leader now with 7 laps to go, making it down to only a total of 6, and with a pit road success that River Page recently experienced, it looks like there's no turning back. Race lead in the final 15 laps. He was able to take it, and he was able to make it work. Now, leading the way, coming down to 5 laps to go, it's River Page up in front, and James Thurston then in second. It's a 1-2-3, Page, Thurston, Conklin, and with 5 laps to go this time by, it now looks like River's got a chance to run as the field behind him fades further and further back. Braxton Whitaker is now going to fight with Julian Altina for the 6th position. Looks like right now it's going to be Julian holding that spot, and she'll be just ahead of Braxton Whitaker, while Henry Kaloff holds on for what could be his 2nd consecutive top 5 finish. Vincent Guecci's now going to try to get closer with some brake smoke as James Thurston and Sean Conklin give everything they've got to chase back to the number 24 of River Page. It looks like now, with 148 laps on the day, Rivers just about got it made. Now it's going to be Thurston passed by Sean Conklin. Sean's going to get back up into 2nd and 1 spot away from that race lead, but there's not a lot of time and not a lot of opportunity. 2 laps to go this time by for River Page to hold off the field and hold on to his first win of the season. And even though he's had to wait nearly a full campaign to get back into victory lane, Page is known all throughout, and he's had the speed to get back to the checkered flag in one piece as a winning man. He's been through it all tonight, and he had to lay the chrome horn quite a few times to make it work, but with some savvy pit stop strategy, he'll work his way down the backstretch with an astounding 1 second lead at the checkered flag. This time by the 24 will kiss the drop goodbye. River Page is a winner again in the IORA Cup Series and will take the checkered flag in the Paperclip 150. Sean Conklin comes home 2nd and effectively locks up the title. James Thurston will come home 3rd, and once again, oh so close to beating the most dominant driver in the series, and another chance at victory lane taken away in the final moments of the night. And from Miata Gang Designs and Elite Performance Industries, River Page will get it done and burn burn down the house as a race winner in 2023 all over again. Season 4 has been one of fierce competition and hardcore battles, thick and thin, and River Page had to work for tonight, and he shows it once again. He is a race winner here in IORA. River Page will win from Sean Conklin in second and James Thurston then in third, with Vincent Guecci, the fourth place driver, 2 seconds back, and Henry Kaloff, position number 5. 6th place is then going to be Julian Altina on debut. She will finish in that 6th spot, just ahead of Braxton Whitaker in 7th, and Brandon Dugan then in 8th. Finally going to be Will Shack in 9th, and Daniel Mosteller then in 10th. Your 10 drivers that took the green flag for tonight, with both Michael Cormetis and Marcus Vanderlee registering. However, they both did not start. But one driver who got it from start to finish, it is River Page. And with the checkered flag out, it is Page and his victory to remember. River Page and Miata Gang Designs will get it done, and the 24 will come out on top. Stay tuned for our top 3 interviews as we'll get them started with River first and foremost, and winning driver will pull through in the very end. Page gets it done. And for River and this number 24 team, it's been a challenge to make it happen all season long, looking for that very first win. You've had speed, you've had pace, but it took an out of this world strategy, and you made it work. Late race move to the lead, and no turning back. River Page, you're a winner in season 4. How are you feeling?
Well, I feel good. It's just I wish I could have won one of the races where there was actual participation, but I mean, it was fun. It was just, I mean, I know I was caused for about half the wrecks, but still, it's just Martinsville. It's just wreck fest and gets strung out. So it was kind of boring in the mid part when we got that like 50 lap run where there was nothing happening, and then at the end it got exciting, I think, like it always does here. But it feels good to win. I didn't think I would end up winning here of all tracks, but it feels good. I'm glad I could actually win one race this year.
And getting it done at Martinsville, where it's always tricky to, of course, avoid those incidents. Saw quite a lot tonight, and of course you were involved in a few of them as well, but it came down to that late race period where everything, as you said, got a bit more exciting. So how was it understanding the strategy and making it work to eventually get to the lead?
It's just the next gen, so you take right sides, it'll work out. The left sides were already warm, so if I took 4, I wouldn't have had as much grip as I did. So I kind of drove away a little bit because I had left side grip, which doesn't really make sense, but with this car, those guys had to spend 3 or 4 laps getting temp into the tires, and I ran my fastest lap as soon as we went green. So I was going to take 2 either way, but no one else did, which kind of surprised me, and Dugan took the top, and I kind of just snuck around him. I thought there would be grip up there, but I didn't want to follow him, so I took the bottom, and then I guess there was some stuff that went on behind. I think Thurston ended up like a second behind me. So we just kind of got lucky with the tire model being as dumb as it is with this car.
And everything worked out in the end tonight in Martinsville. 15 laps led on the 15 that mattered the most, including the checkered flag. You led from, of course, the final restart onward, and you get it done tonight. You shake, of course, off the pressure of not being a winner, and now you got one more chance at Phoenix. Now, with that being said, season finale, you think you're going to be racing hard for the race victory?
Yeah, I think I need to have some luck in my favor. I don't even know if I can win. I don't know if it's possible if a certain amount of people don't show up, but we'll see. Yeah, I think I'm still 26 points behind Conk, so I'm definitely gonna need some incredible luck, but we'll see. I'm still gonna just gonna race as hard as I can.
Still going to keep racing hard. River Page not out of the fight just yet, and he gets it done. What could be the most important race of his season. Checkered flag flies, a Paperclip 150 winner. River Page, got anything else to add?
Just thanks for the stream, and Mason for adminning, and everyone on my car, and my parents, and whatever else you say. That's it.
There we have it. River Page will pull through and take the checkered flag in Martinsville, winning ahead of Sean Conklin and James Thurston. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
River Page on the way. Your race-winning driver, we just got a word from Sean Conklin, does not appear to be available for comments, so we will be moving on to your third-place man in James Thurston. And man, oh man, when you look at the stats for Thurston tonight, you might have thought it was his night to begin with. and to end with 108 laps led. That is over 2/3 of this race. An unbelievable amount, but it just couldn't fall into play at the end of the night. So for James Thurston and the number 4 team, it's a 3rd place finish and a final step on the podium. How do you feel with a podium finish here in the penultimate round of the season?
I feel absolutely terrible. I should have won that race, but yeah, the guy that wrecks like the leader, he wrecks the leader like what 3 or 4 times, and he wins the race. Just awesome. And just awesome. I have to have a short interview because got my wisdom teeth pulled out. But yeah, felt like that one was mine. But we kept getting cautions and just ended up on the wrong side of strategy at the end. And the car drove absolutely horrible because iRacing can't make a fixed setup here to save their life.
Troubles at the end gave way to that 3rd place finish, but you still got one more opportunity to end the season off. Of course, the Phoenix Raceway coming right up next, so season finale, one last chance. What's it going to take to maybe come back and look for that checkered flag, knowing how hard you've been chasing it the last 2 weeks?
I don't know. We'll go there, see if we can win. I'm not winning the championship, though. Conk's got that locked up, so congrats to him. He's had a good season. Just, I don't know. I wish that you could, pass with these cars at a short track, but, you get the lead and you automatically win the race. Just, I don't know. Xfinity is going to treat this league a lot better, I can tell you that.
James Thurston already awaiting what's next after Season 4. 3rd place on the night. Anything else you'd like to add after this event?
Thanks to Power Smash, Infinity Speed Motorsports, and, I don't know. I'm done.
James Thurston rounds out our top 3 ceremony here with a podium finish at the end of the day in Martinsville. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
James Thurston on the move, the final drive in your top 3, 108 laps led, but certainly not happy with the overall outcome. It looks like, unfortunately, Sean Conklin not available for comment tonight, so we'll have to move on without him. It's James Thurston in 3rd, Sean Conklin in 2nd, and River Page in the 1st position. Winner after the end of a hard-fought Paperclip 150. It is going to be Page over Conklin and Thurston. That is your top 3 to end the penultimate round of this championship. Mathematically speaking, the championship is not technically over, but will now come down to participation at Phoenix. If we have the same field size as we did today in terms of 10 drivers, I believe that it will be mathematically in Sean Conklin's hands. However, if we go back to having 15 to 20 drivers week in, week out, then we will see once again a fight between River Page, Sean Conklin, and potentially Daniel Mosteller if he opts to return one final time. But with that being said, only one more week of racing remains before Season 4 comes to a close, and we move on to 2024 live on FTN. It's been a fantastic campaign, and we're still not done yet. We'd love to have you stick around for next Thursday night at 7:30 Eastern, so be sure to stay tuned and subscribe to the channel and keep up with all our notifications to find out when the IORA Cup Series races every Thursday night. I've been David Kreutz, commentating and producing. I hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation of the IORA Cup Series and the Paperclip 150, and we hope you all see us whenever we're live again on FTN. We thank you all for your immense support throughout the season, and we hope you have a fantastic night.